What's up, everybody? Welcome to Just Because Gaming. My name is Michael,
And I'm Ray.
and thanks for joining us. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things in all the places. And with that being said, let's jump into it. The Nintendo Switch 2 recently came out, and it's been quite an interesting event. I don't know if you've heard about this, Ray, but one of the interesting and kind of funny things is that Nintendo is pissed at, I think it's New Jersey or New York. Did you hear about what happened at GameStop?
No, I did not.
So it's either the GameStops that are in New York or the GameStops that are in New Jersey. One of the things that they typically do is when you pre-order a console, they would staple the receipt to the box so that they know whose is whose. Normally, consoles come with plenty of like foam packaging and everything. The Nintendo Switch 2 didn't, especially in the front. So these GameStops, it's either New York, New Jersey, whatever. That's their typical protocol for those district areas. They'd staple the receipt to the box. Not only did they staple the receipt to the box, they stapled the receipt right through the screen.
Wow.
So
Would you staple it in the middle of the box? Is there a reason?
the whole reason, I get the reasoning behind it, is because you want to say, okay, this Nintendo Switch or this console in general is specified for John Doe. This console is specified for Jane Doe, etc. That way you're not just handing out consoles hoping you have enough.
But at the corner of the box, not in the middle of where the screen is going to be.
Or here's a weird thought. Use some Scotch tape or a sticker. Violently staple the receipt to the box, but
And how long are these staples that they're reaching through the box into the screen?
apparently,
A mechanical staple gun? There we go.
as far as I understand, it's just a regular stapler Nintendo Switch box. The console's right there, staring you in the face. There's not like all this protective, like foam and styrofoam or like whatever kind of foam. It's just literally right there so that when you open it, bam, you're staring at it. So yeah, GameStop had to make a lot of replacements because, it's kind of messed up. You just got it and it's already broken and it's not your fault. I'm guessing that GameStop's going to be changing their policies for attaching receipts. Like the thing I was thinking, you can get those little happy face stickers that, normally Walmart used to use back in the day. Pop it on the receipt in the corner or something like that, and it'd be fine. That's a little bit aggressive on their part. Aside from that, the Nintendo Switch has actually been flying off the shelves. I was thinking it wasn't going to sell well because the fact that the price is like $150 more and that they up the price of their games, but still, they're just flying off the shelves. You can barely find them.
Well, over 3 million last I heard, so it's probably well over that by now.
Yeah, it's funny because they were comparing it to, I think it was the ROG Ally, and they were saying that the previous generation of the ROG Ally sold 3 or 4 million since inception. So over the past few years. And the Nintendo Switch 2 sold that same amount in the first weekend. So yeah, they're definitely doing well. From the last articles I've read, they're on par to be one of the highest selling consoles for Nintendo. I think before that it was the Switch, or maybe it was but one of those, they were leading the console market. And I think they're on par to do it again, which, like I said, is surprising, but it's surprising for Nintendo because this is the highest price they've ever been. It's not surprising in the console market itself, considering that, it was the PlayStation 5 Pro that was like, what, $700, something like that?
You also got to figure the early adopters are all picking them up right off the bat. 3, 4 million of those, that's pretty commonplace for any of the consoles to release. When you get to later on down the road, we'll see how it does when it hits like holiday season and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely expecting the console numbers to double by the time the holiday season comes by. Everything looks amazing. I tried to get one for myself, but they were flying off the shelves, flying through pre-orders. I don't think they're currently in store. Aside from display models and demos, I don't think they have any in stock, but that's not to say that scalpers are going to particularly win because they're regularly producing more. So if you haven't been able to get one, like myself, it's just a matter of waiting it out a little bit. And yeah, they'll be back in stores. They'll be back available for pre-order. So you need to spend $800 for a $500 or $450 console because scalpers are doubling the price. You just need some patience for this. It's not
Yeah.
like how it was with PlayStation and the Xbox Series where COVID made productivity issues.
Where there was a chip shortage.
There's no shortage now, so it's just a matter of waiting till they're back in stock. Between now and the holiday season, they're going to keep getting back in stock.
I know they had the new Mario Kart. Was there anything else new that released with this console?
So the only one that actually released with the console is Mario Kart World. The interesting thing about Mario Kart World is that you're not specifically tied to the track. One of the things I've seen in a lot of gameplay footage is people being able to ride the rails of the track. So, there'll be like border walls and you can kind of jump and surf along the walls and even up on the rails on top. People are exploiting that for huge shortcuts, showing these tricks to do a whole lap in like 2 seconds, to just jump straight from the start to the finish line. Maybe some kind of weird U-turn type thing. I've seen it before. People love glitching Mario Kart. You can get that to ship with the console. That's the only one I know of that comes as a bundle. However, there is a new Donkey Kong game coming out, and that's been drawing a lot of excitement too. I think that one also is $70. I'm not 100% sure. I need to check on that.
Okay. That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. Again, thanks for watching.
Peace.